Hey, it's Birdman. Time for the community shout here, hanging out at the Birdman Media Studio. Hello to all the viewers out there, WMI TV, on Cholo TV, and of course, Birdman Media podcast listeners as well. Hanging out today, and it was one heck of a weekend. The Roger Clyne and the Peacemakers concert at the Lion's Den had it packed, and the new venue, it was a lot of people. So well over 1,000, I would say almost near 1,500. Anyway, so we're going to start off this morning with Becky Montoyo, and you're with?
So I'm the counselor at Blue Ridge Junior High, and I also have a private practice as a licensed counselor in LPC, promoting mental health today.
Okay, so talking about mental health, and that's one of a big thing for me is we've got it seems to be the root of a lot of issues. And I don't want to say that mental health illness is the root of the issue. I think the root of the issue is the understanding of mental health.
Absolutely. There's a real stigma associated with mental health, which means that people are worried about getting the resources that might help them. They're nervous that if they get labeled or even professionally diagnosed, that it might mean that their future has a negative potential when the opposite is actually the truth. And we want to make sure, especially the young people in our community, that they know that getting mental health services and the supports that they need are critical towards success down the road. There's a lot of behaviors in the typical range of adolescence, so we're not trying to pathologize adolescence, but there are some things that can become concerning, and so I have a program that will really help people distinguish between what's in the typical range, which still needs a lot of supports, and when we've crossed into a range that might be more red flags and triggers of potentially more significant concerns that we want to add supports in even a more robust way.
Every time we get in this conversation, I try to inject some things that people understand. One is like, you break a finger. We all break fingers, we all break bones growing up as kids. You know it's going to heal, It's going to get better, you're going to move on. And that might have zero effect in your life moving forward.
Absolutely.
That happens with mental health as well.
Yes.
Okay, those kind of things, you break something mentally that you've got to repair and get fixed and go move on. We also know that if you feed a kid nothing but pizza 24/7, they're going to get fat, they're going to have issues. Same thing if you treat them a certain way 24/7.
Right.
So
the dialogue has to change, the dynamic in our families and our homes, creating safe spaces, places, soft landings where young people can express what's on their mind, what they're concerned with, what they're struggling with, and not have the fear that there's going to be this judgmental response, but that there can be at least a safe space to start to process what's going on so that we can figure out what do we need to do to make sure that we're moving forward and giving this young person the supports that they need. The program that I'm offering, and people may have heard of it, it's kind of parallel to CPR, what we would do for medical health, but it's called Mental Health First Aid. And it's a program that goes through some different steps. It's actually an 8-hour day.
Wow.
Yes, and we go through some steps to help identify and to heighten our noticing skills so that we can be more aware, so that we can practice assessing if a young person is at risk to themselves or others, so that we can listen non-judgmentally, give reassurance, and then encourage the appropriate support. Sometimes it's just self-support that we're going to encourage a young person. They may need to practice something that's worked for them in the past, or it might be professional helps. And so this class is 8 hours long. And my passion right now is to provide this course free of charge to anyone.
Awesome.
Typically, a class like this is $175. We have Blue Ridge School District sponsoring the program, so we have a space to teach it. I'm giving my time away for free, so I'm not charging to present it. But there are costs as far as manuals. We do have to buy a manual for every participant, and just some of the logistics. There are some expenses. So 2 messages I'd want to get out to the community. Is it okay if I throw them out there?
Absolutely.
If you work with young people and you want to take the class, we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
And we're going to do it without any cost. The second thing is if you are a business or someone in the community who thinks, I want to help make sure anyone can take this class without cost, either group, I want you to contact me and I can help you know how you can be a part of this program in our county and in our community. young people are dying 3 times higher than the national average by suicide. And that's because these issues are not being addressed and the supports aren't in place. So it's not just this feel-good, fluffy program. This is a program that will save lives.
Okay, so we're going to try to show the flyer up there
Perfect.
on the screen, but we're definitely going to put the information down below so you can find that.
Awesome.
Give me the dates, times again.
So the dates and times, and I'm going to have to actually pull up my flyer.
Not a problem. It's good to be accurate.
Yes.
Never a problem.
So I have 4 more sessions through the end of this year, and then I will be offering it again in the spring.
Okay.
So once a month, but you only have to attend one session.
One session.
1 session.
8
so
hours, though.
8 hours.
Okay.
It's the whole day. And right now, because we don't have a lot of sponsors, if you attend, you're bringing your own food, you're going to lunch in the lunch break. We don't have every part of it covered yet,
Okay.
but we are able to cover everything but the food so far. Thursday, September 19th, Thursday, October 17th, Thursday, November 21st, and Thursday, December 12th. December 12th. And all of these are taking place at the Blue Ridge Junior High Library.
Okay.
And I'm open to even setting more dates. If I have a group that says, hey, we'll give you the place, we'll buy the manuals, we'll get everything in order for you, I would definitely look at additional dates. If you feel like you have a group that can fill a class, this message is important. We had a student pass away by suicide about a year ago.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal.
And this is all of the outlandish violence things that you see. This is suicide. This is all mental health related.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to stress again, mental health, part of mental health and mental health breakdown is part of growing up being natural things that exist. It's like breaking bones. It's like hurting yourself. It's like cutting yourself. So these aren't broken people because they have mental health issues. We all have mental health issues.
Yes, and a lot of what we experience in our adolescence is in the typical range, and we need to know that there are a lot of things that fall in that category that aren't diagnosable necessarily. And the course does not teach someone how to diagnose or give therapy. It teaches them how to assess the situation, to listen non-judgmentally, and then move forward to employ additional resources. But there is plenty of things in regular adolescence that also need those supports. And so if we're able to support adolescents in the regular, typical range, we do prevent some of them dipping into the riskier behaviors. Although some of it, no matter how many supports we put in place, some mental health issues are just going to be a part of their experience,
right.
And we need to be ready for that and offer hope as well.
Becky Montoya, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
Really glad you came in today.
Yes, I appreciate you having me.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hey, that's going to be it for this episode of Birdman on the Mountain Community Shout. Want to remind everybody that Birdman Media is going to be out at the Battle of the Bands and Vans here on Saturday. Starts at noon, and there are bands every single hour from noon all the way till 10 p.m. We're going to be showing things off up on the big screen after it gets dark, so come on by, check it out, vote for your favorite band or your favorite food van, and we'll see you there. And of course, I'm going to remind you, if I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here on the web.